deciding to leak
Yeah.
the mod signal chat. And I don't even remember the context of why like, I know I was making a joke in reference to something. I'm pretty sure it was like in reference to people calling me a pedophile. I don't know though.
Well, I think at the time they were also like calling you racist, right? Like that was like the deal. That was like the big deal. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, let's combine these two accusations, right? Because it'd be funny.
Yeah, because 2022, it was all Catboy Ranch libel and then calling me racist.
You would think people would start, I don't know, thinking about what they're typing and possibly read it over and look at it and think maybe that would look really bad if I hit send instead of just hitting send anyway. To the point where, like, you can't even remember the context to this. You just openly admitted that. And then kind of tried to roll it into a deflection, despite the fact that you are now a public figure. If you have a following and the following that you have, you should probably be a little bit more careful with what you're saying, who you're saying it to, and in or out of context. It's regardless. You should definitely take a look at what you're under fire for and try to avoid what you can. Because again, you're a public figure. We're not here to play victim because you're a public figure. We're here to, you're here to grow an audience and build something and do something with it, right? Other than just wasting your time. So, this is Keffals. Keffals is under fire for quite a few things, most notably blatant racism. I haven't seen any examples of it. It's hard to find it. So that one is kind of being swept under the rug. I think it's just the racism being in their Discord server. And on top of that, regarding their Discord server, because I don't understand why Discord is such a magnet for people who are like this, there's grooming going on in there. Now, I've seen this thing called Catboy Farms, where regardless of your age, they're sending actual collars, yes, collars, with GPS trackers in them and stuff like that, like actual cat collars. I'm not even exaggerating that. It's hard to even believe that this is being sent. This is it right here. This is the collar in question, saying that property of Catboy Ranch. Now, I've seen some people try to say that this isn't a inherently fetish, but it absolutely is. It is a collar. It says Femboy Finance on it, and I don't need to say anymore. I don't need to say anymore. It's bad. It looks awful. It's bad. There's also another thing that's Keffals is going under fire for, which is essentially, how do I put it? Just giving drugs to underage people. They're just children. That's how I should say it. They're making HRT. Now, HRT is just hormones and stuff like that, but DIY HRT is kind of a problem because it's some random person, not a set of professionals who have been hired by a company because of their skill set and because of their professionalism, hence why they were hired by that company. It's not that. It is some random person making these HRT, I guess, vials, bottles, whatever it is, and then, sending it to anyone, not checking ages, and it's getting to a lot of children is what it is. Now, I don't know how to explain to you why sending experimental homemade drugs to children is bad, but I shouldn't have to. I really shouldn't have to because they're children and they don't know any better, or sending unsafe experimental drugs to anyone for that matter. And I'm going to use that at HRT regardless. I don't care what you're going to classify it as. It's not good. It's like the pink sauce situation. You're just buying shit from total strangers. You're not buying it for a company. Pink sauce got bought out. This is not getting bought out. And Keffals' defense was DIY HRT saves lives. If you want people to have safer access to medication, get mad at conservatives who are making trans healthcare illegal instead of people trying to help those affected by trans healthcare bans. You're missing the point there. You're missing the point, bud. I don't know what to tell you. It kind of looks like you're deflecting and blaming it on someone else, when in reality, if someone slips up, or I don't know if it's Keffals themselves producing these things, but I know the sale is being done under Keffals, you're liable for anything that goes wrong. If someone fucks up, you are liable. That is your fault. You have now put someone in a situation of, they're intaking things on their own accord, or they're intaking things that are unsafe. Now, it may be on their own accord. I could see your defense for that, but when kids are involved, kids don't know any better. Their brains are not as developed as adults. Specifically, Keffals, being an adult, they don't understand shit. You're talking to them online and telling them things, and they don't know the difference between good and bad. They're children. They're learning, right? Maybe teenagers. It doesn't matter. They can't just be expected to understand the reality of what's going on, especially with the whole grooming thing in the Discord server with the Catboy Ranch thing. Now I'm seeing various defenses for this, but when I'm seeing them be put out, and I'm seeing the colors and the pictures of the server, what have you, it makes your whole argument look significantly worse. And I don't understand how people are not seeing this, because you have the allegations, right? Whether they are not based in much reality or backed up, which most of these are. I mean, you can just type in Keffals on Twitter, and there's shitloads of stuff. And you could do a little bit of searching and find shitloads, and I mean actual shitloads of stuff. There's so much, it's unbelievable. But if you even for a second weren't to have much of that with you, and, this is the two things I just showed you are coming up as screenshots, and things in your Discord server are being talked about as being either grooming or selling HRT, DIY HRT, which you also admitted DIY HRT saves lives. That's what you said. Yeah, no, that's not helping your argument. And then when you try to deflect by saying that Muda doesn't know what he's talking about, or he defended Andrew Tate or something, I think that goes right out the window, because you can defend someone who most people don't like based off of evidence and actual, things in front of you, tangible evidence, right? Instead of just deflecting and blaming politicians or blaming someone else. So there's even a subreddit here where we're seeing stuff like this. People realized by now that Mutahar, some ordinary gamers, is irresponsible, and only LARPs is a journalist. We're just kind of deflecting here, and then when we get into it, it's just, they're just complaining about it for no reason. This is all very vague stuff. There's nothing really crazy going on. There's no damning evidence. You're just saying that you disagree with the guy and you don't like him, rather than backing any of it up or shooting down any of his arguments that he may bring up at any given point, which is crazy to me, because we're talking about something. We're not talking about anything huge. We're talking about something that could land someone in jail. This isn't like anything small. This isn't small fry. This is like a big deal when children are allegedly involved.
But yeah, the whole thing kind of just looks bad, and it just looks like deflection on everyone's front who's trying to defend this whole situation, which makes you in turn look even worse and look more suspicious than you already were to begin with. Not that to imply at all that you weren't suspicious just from making the jokes or having things sold on your Discord servers, such as HRT and Catboy, Femboy, some shit collars. Something I don't know. It's ridiculous. And then there are kids involved, and it makes you look disgusting. Keffals, it kind of comes off disgusting. I don't know how else to say it. It's bad. It looks bad. You look bad. End of story. As soon as I see something, I guess, brought up to as an actual defense, not just some fucking you guys don't know what you're talking about, because Keffals straight up admits the DIY HRT thing straight up, which is fucking crazy to me, because kids are kids. They're developing their brain, right? You can't fuck that up. If you fuck that up, the kid comes out fucked up with severe mental problems. You can't do that. I don't know why I have to even say that. There's just people who like to ignore basic science. Anyway, that's been me talking about whatever the fuck this shit is. I got a Discord link below if you guys want to hang out there. It's just a chill lounge, and I'm not looking to start problems, and I'm not looking to keep coming after people. I'm just looking to cover topics and cover issues that should be addressed, that people should be a little bit more aware of, at least in my opinion. But that's up to you. We play Helldivers and Destiny 2 every now and then, so come hang out. Subscribe, stick around. I got plenty more videos I'm working on, and if you like it, dislike it. And this has been me talking about a situation that just looks horrible for Keffals. See ya.